QST, QST, QST. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, originating from the Maltese Islands. Before we start the net, is there any emergency traffic? Hearing none, here we go with the net. QST, QST, QST. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, tonight's net control station or operator for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM Global Net. This net meets every 2 weeks on Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central European Time to discuss topics related to amateur radio and the island's ham radio clubs. This is a directed net, and all traffic should go through net control. Special thanks to 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha Anthony and 9H1 Sugar Fox Stephen for making this possible, to 9H5 Sugar Nancy Marco and 9H1 Golf Papa Mark for allowing the use of the 9H1 UHF-R repeater, to Antoine 9H1 US and Herbert 9H1DH for allowing the use of the 9H1 DMR-R repeater, and to 9H5 Yankee Victor Glenn for allowing us to use the same branding as the 9H-HAM radio Facebook page which he administers. Thanks also to Dave, W1NOC, for allowing us to connect to his America Multimode network, which interconnects various digital ham radio modes. Our agenda this evening is normally check-ins, announcements, general announcements, and a short presentation, which this week is going to be given by Dave, W1NOC. Okay, scrolling down, what do we have next? This is Net Control, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. I will pause periodically for late check-ins. So, let's now take check-ins from any and all stations. Please leave at least a 5-second pause between check-ins so that we can give a chance for people to check in from the different modes and the different sources. And we can also help the system do any resets that it needs instead of cutting us in the middle. So, this is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. I will now take check-ins for the 9H-HAM Global Net.
Good evening, Net Control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra. Trevor is the name.
In 78PW, please check in. Whiskey 1, November, Oscar Charlie, Dave in Maine.
Net Control, please check in 9 Hotel 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra. 9 Henry 1 Foxtrot Bravo Sierra.
Five Foxtrot Alpha. I believe I doubled with someone else while signing in, so I'm not sure exactly which code sign you have received, Jerry. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha. The name is Anthony. Nine Hotel 1 Tango Lima checking in.
Well, very good. Let me tell you who I have so far. 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sugar, Whiskey 1 November Oscar Charlie, 9H1 Fox Bravo Sugar, 9H5 Fox Alpha, and 9H1 Tango Lima. Any other check-ins for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet this evening?
This is K5 Ontario Kilo Echo, Claremore, Oklahoma.
And I acknowledge Kilo 5 Oscar Kilo Echo. Any other check-ins at this point in time? Do we have any check-ins from Jitsi? Anybody coming through Jitsi, etc., etc.? And 7APW. And Jitsi is a conferencing software similar to Zoom that some, especially the Maltese hams, congregate on and keep in touch with each other with. Okay, let's see. By the way, listeners can also monitor a live stream on a YouTube channel called 9H-HAM GlobalNet, one word. That's 9H-HAM GlobalNet, and after the net is over, there will be a recording of the net that will be posted on the 9H-HAM GlobalNet YouTube channel as well. Let's see, third call for any additional check-ins, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Okay, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox stroke Delta Lima, 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox stroke Delta Lima. Just a quick hello from my side. And microphone back to you, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox stroke Delta Lima.
Well, a very good evening to you, Steve. You sound great. Your audio is fantastic. And hello from the U.S. to Germany. And I got you checked into the net, 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox stroke Delta Lima. Any other check-ins at this point? Okay, hearing none, thank you everybody for checking into the net. I'd like to welcome everybody and hope everybody's had a good day or is having a good day. It is somewhat very nice over here the last few days. We haven't really experienced any of the horrendous heat that most of the nation is going through. And the current temperature outside is approximately 17 or 18 degrees Celsius, or somewhere in the neighborhood of 64 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's been pleasant. We received a lot of rain, which is not around here, but in fact, it has rained just about every day for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and the tomato plants have given us tomatoes that have all been watered by rain and no faucet water, and they were delicious. But we can talk about that some other time. All right, this is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Let's go one round and see what everybody's been doing and how everybody's been enjoying perhaps summer and swimming if you live on the island of Malta, etc., etc., etc. 9 Hotel 5, Tango Sugar, good evening to you. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Normal
Yes, hi everyone, good evening, and nice to hear so many check-ins on the net tonight. This is Trevor from Berkeley Cara, 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra. It's nice to hear you all. Last call out net control was a bit choppy here, maybe it's from my end, but I received you well in the first instance, so maybe we can give you some feedback on how we're receiving you, so I won't keep it too long. Quick announcement from my end is, of course, that 9 Hotel 1 Alpha Quebec passed away, Tony. Carmelo, and we miss him very much. He was an Elmer ham radio operator at the Multimode Radio League, and I believe he gave a lot to the club, and the lessons and the lectures and everything he knew about the hobby, he passed on to others, so never forgotten. That's from my end. Back to you, Net Control, 9 Hotel 5 Tango Sierra, Trevor here.
Okay, very good, Trevor. 9H-5 Tango Sugar with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Yeah, it was very sad to hear that that Carmelo 9H1AQ is a silent key now. He was very active in the club when I got my license, and I got my Maltese license in 1974. So I've known Carmelo for a very, very long time. And like you said, he did a lot of things for a lot of people, contributed and taught a lot, and he will definitely be missed. All right, Dave, good afternoon to you, W1NOC. I hope I'm doing the trip. New computer, new adventure, what can I say? But any signal reports would be appreciated. W1NOC with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, N7APW.
N7APW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is W1NOC. The name is Dave. My QTH. I'm in the state of Maine in the United States, up in the northeast corner, a little town called Sherman. And I'm about 45 miles south of New Brunswick, Canada. So I'm way up there. Currently we have about 88 degrees. That's probably nice for our fellow hams over in Malta, but to me, it's hot. Let's see, what have I been up to lately? Well, just been working in the shack the last couple of weeks, updating the website, playing radio, and we've been getting a lot of rain here, too. Rains 4 or 5 days in a row. We'll stop for the day, then I have to get the lawnmower out and mow the grass in 2 different places. So I wish the old saying would come through, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. Anyways, it's great to be with everybody. I'll turn it back over to Net Control, N7APW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, W1NOC.
Yeah, very good, Dave. W1NOC and 7APW with the net. Thank you very much for that report. And also, thank you very much for giving us a short presentation later on in the net about your station and how you've interconnected everything digitally to different digital modes or DMR modes. That would be very interesting. And if you have handy a list of all the modes, free DMR and whatever else is connected to All-Star, and you can share that on the net, it would be nice. And of course, please also give your website address, because they're all listed over there. Very good. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Charlie, we'll pass it over to you. 9H1FBS with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet 9H-1FBS returning. I was going also to send my condolences to Carmelo Felix Fenech, the family. I remember the first time I went to Marl, M-A-R-L. He was very, very, shall we say, a source of encouragement to me during the time I used to go there. And of course, a very, very gentle person. I never learned. I wasn't a part-time in his class, but he was a very, very nice person who really gave a lot to amateur radio. Today has been a very warm day, and I decided to put on my AC, and the shack here. It's a bit too muggy today. So I'll pass it back over to you. Greetings to everybody, and thank you for being here. And 78PW, 9H-1FBS. Go ahead.
Okay, very good, Charlie. 9 Hotel 1 Fox Bravo Sugar with the net, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Before we continue, are there any other check-ins for the net this evening?
APW, this is 9H-5FA. I just like to tell you that there is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike on Jitsi at the moment, but he can't transmit because he's got an issue with his hand mic for his rig. So he's listening, but he can't transmit. But I'm just passing on the message that that he's with us on Jitsi. 7APW, this is 9H-5FA. So his call sign is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Mike, and the name is Francis.
Thank you for that, Anthony. I confirm 9H5 Fox Mike. Francis, good evening to you. It happens to all of us. Like I said, this is a new adventure on a new PC, so we're having fun. Did I hear a kitten in the background? 9 Hotel 5 Fox Alpha with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. I know you're laughing, so I'll give it to you fast. And 7APW.
And 7APW, this is for the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, this is 9H-5FA. Yeah, there is a cat mewing on the table where I'm sitting here, and I'm continually pushing her back because she's insisting on walking on top of my keyboard and whatever. And now she settles to sleep just 12 inches away from where I'm sitting. So I'd like to join the others in wishing condolences to the family of 9H1 Alpha Quebec, Carmelo. When I started getting my lessons at Marl, he was the one who was actually delivering the whole radio amateur course. That was about 20 years ago. And later I met him in for some Morse code lessons, and he was always extremely helpful, and I occasionally gave him a lift home afterwards. And well, I only have words of praise for him, so I really wish to. I mean, I was very sorry when I heard the news. He's one of the founders of Marl. If it wasn't for him, I mean, as far as I know, he's also the person who went through, perhaps not alone with the rest of the team, but he was one of the people who managed to get the premises running for the club and whatever. So Yeah, it's a big pity. Okay, back to you, Jerry, 9 and 7 APW with 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Hotel 5 Fox Alpha and 7 APW returning. All those who knew Carmelo have some very good things to say about him, and that's wonderful. You know, I'm happy with just, he was okay, as far as I'm concerned, for me. Somebody says, Jerry was okay. I'm pretty happy with that. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. I'll turn the mic over to 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima. Good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey with the net.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, Chris. Very sorry about the news about Carmelo. He taught me Morse code, and in fact he gave me one of his old Morse keys, which if I have permission I can tell a short story about. It's a funny story. So back to net control, to see if I can tell a short story about the key that Carmelo gave me.
Oh, absolutely, and 7 APW.
7 APW from 9H1TL, Chris. Okay, so I have to stress the fact that this key that he gave me had a very large, a comically large red button, which took up pretty much a big portion of the surface of the key, and I want to stress that point. And I work mostly portable, and there was a time when I used to bring this key in the car and leave my rig set up inside the car so that when I go out on portable in the field, everything is available to me, for me. And I left the key on the dashboard at the front. And this was shortly after a bomb had exploded and blown up someone's legs locally in Malta. And that might be the parrot you're hearing in the background. Anyway, I'm going to have a short pause so I don't time out, and I'll continue. And 7 APW from 9 Hotel 1 Tango Lima, continuing. Okay, so basically I got a call from the police saying that they think I have a bomb in my car. And obviously I had no idea what was going on, so I rushed out running. I was at work at the time, from the operating room, so I had to run out. And I find my car surrounded by police officers ready to impound my car, and the bomb squad, and a lot of commotion going on. And it turns out I have a lot of respect for the police, but the guy who was responsible for this must not have been very bright. He thought that the key, the Morse key with the large red button, the huge red button, was part of a bomb. So they were going to impound my car for that. So that's the end of my story. So back to net control and 7 APW from 9H1TL.
Very interesting story, Chris. 9H1 Tango Lima with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet and 7 APW. Certainly something out of a movie. You know, sometimes you see, you'll be watching a movie and they'll having all this covert stuff going on, and then you notice a ham radio rig, and it's just like, oh yeah, I have one just like that. And it's legal. That is excellent. Thank you for sharing that. That is quite interesting. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Over to Kilo 5, Oscar Kilo Echo. Good afternoon to you and welcome to our friendly net. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. Are you still listening? Kilo 5, Oscar Kilo Echo, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey on the net. Okay, hearing nothing, we'll move over to Steve. Good evening to you, Steve. 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Foxtrot /BL. Thanks for checking in remotely. You are somewhere in Germany. I hope it's maybe at the tip of the Black Forest where it's nice and cool with lakes filled with water coming from the mountains. But you tell me. 9H-1SF / Delta Lima, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, and thanks for checking in. Unfortunately, I think I saw him drop out, but 9H-1 Sugar Fox / Delta Lima, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, hearing nothing. I wish you could say hello to us, Francis, but thanks for checking in, and thank you, Anthony, for passing on the details and information about 9 Hotel 5 Fox Mike. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Are there any additional check-ins for the net? Oh, I see Steve is reconnected. Steve, let me pass it back to you. I hope you heard what I had to say, and thank you for joining in. 9H-1 Sugar Fox with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Okay, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sugar Fox / Delta Lima. I won't keep it too long, Jerry. Thank you for looking after the net tonight, and also greetings to everyone, and also, as everyone else, condolences to Carmel's family there. We were present yesterday at his funeral there, members from our club, and also, yes, he did give a lot to amateur radio there. So I won't keep it in longer. As you can tell, I'm in Germany, Delta Lima / Delta Lima, as I was also in Germany last week and the week before. And the week before and last week, and this week again, I'm back in Germany. So I'm here till Tuesday, and I'll be back in Malta for another month. Anyway, another story there. Anyway, I'll say 73 to all, and greetings to everybody, and have fun on the net. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox / Delta Lima, saying 73s to all, and we'll get in contact again, hopefully, when I'm back in Malta. Anyway, Jerry, microphone back to you, and thanks for all that you're doing. November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. This is 9 Hotel 1 Sierra Fox / Delta Lima.
Very good, Steve. Thank you very much for checking in and saying hello to us. I hope you're enjoying your stays in Germany. I always have when I was up there. And obviously, coming back to Malta, please have a safe trip, and we'll hopefully hear you on the air sometime very soon. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Are there any additional check-ins?
Nine Hotel / Alpha Hotel 2 Echo Juliet, Shane in Malta.
Okay, very good. I acknowledge 9 Hotel / Alpha Hotel 2 Echo Juliet. Shane, good evening to you. And before too, good evening to you as well, 9 Hotel 1 Echo Sugar. A bit scratchy into the repeater, but still fully understandable. So let me see if there are any other check-ins. and thank you both for checking in. And if not, I'll pass it over to Shane. But before that, any other check-ins for the net? Okay, hearing none. Shane, I hope you're still enjoying your stay on the island. I don't know how long you'll be staying, but yeah, I think you've been here a while from what I gather. So let me pass it back to you. 9 Hotel / Alpha Hotel 2 Echo Juliet, if I can recognize my handwriting. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet.
First off, thank you for taking the net. And yes, I've been here a few months, and I've got a few more weeks left, and definitely enjoying it. It's getting warmer and warmer every day, but it's nice to see summer finally here and enjoyable, and just in time to get to turn around and go home to Virginia. So it's always a blast. But thank you again for taking the net, and definitely enjoying Malta. Back to net control.
Well, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure taking the net and running with it. Have you been swimming in the Mediterranean yet, Shane? Go ahead.
Yes, I have taken a couple swims, and also visited Camino and Gozo, and it's in the Blue Lagoon, and it's definitely been beautiful. So water is nice and warm, along with the pool water, but the ocean water is just as good. So enjoying it all around when I can. Unfortunately, this is a business work event for me, but I can't say that I can complain where I get to stay on an island and still work. So very nice. Thank you. Back to net control.
Well, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. 9H / Alpha Hotel 2 Echo Juliet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Yeah, there's going to have to be some time when you have some time off. So you make the best of that time, and it becomes a very wonderful experience and adventure, and it leaves some wonderful memories to go with it and last you the rest of your life. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. 4-2, good evening to you. I hope you're doing well. 9H1 Echo Sugar with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. I didn't hear 4-2. Let me give you one more call, and maybe you're out of range or busy doing something. 9H1 Echo Sugar with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. Okay, we'll try a bit later. Any other chickens for the net? We have coming up a short presentation by Dave, and he's going to give us an idea of what his multimode network is all about. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, standing by for any check-ins or any other traffic for the net before Dave's presentation. Okay, Dave, I'm going to turn it over to you. A glass of cold water with a twist of lemon, and off you go. Whiskey 1, November, Oscar Charlie, and thank you for giving us your presentation. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey.
N7APW, the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, is W. Let me start out. Let me thank Jerry for hosting the net. Very good job there, Jerry. Thanks to Anthony for linking us up through Echolink so we could be a part of your net over here in America and around the world. We are linked everywhere around the world, so that's a good thing. And thanks to everybody else that Jerry mentioned in the beginning. It was a long list, and unfortunately, I cannot write that fast. But thank you to everybody. I did hear all the names. Okay, periodically I'm going to take a break as to not time out any repeaters or anything. So when I do that, I'll say break and give about a 5-second pause and then come back in. So why don't I take a break right now? Okay, W1NOC returning. All right, there's some different parts to the network, and let me briefly explain what those are. That way when I use that term, everybody will kind of understand what it is. The first thing we have is a reflector. You can think of a reflector as something like a phone network system. When you dial a number, it connects you to the other number that you're trying to reach. Now, extended beyond that, anybody that is logged into that reflector, which are also known as talk groups, all the IP addresses that are logged in there are gathered up by that reflector, and when any one of those parties transmits, it rebroadcasts it to the other parties that are on the reflector, or the other hams that are on the reflector. So that's kind of like what that is. The reflectors that I use over here are Pi-Star 3Bs. Anybody doesn't know what a Pi-Star is, it's a little mini computer, is all it is. It has a board and a hat for RF communications. Break. W1NOC returning. Okay, so that's what a reflector is. Then we have what is called a bridge. So you can kind of think of a bridge in the ham radio world or in any kind of computer networking, just like what a regular bridge is. What you do with a regular bridge is you get on one side and you walk or drive across that bridge and it takes you to the other side. So what a ham radio bridge does is it takes two different networks that may communicate with different digital modes, such as DMR over to Fusion, or P25 over to DMR. So that's the basic explanation of a bridge. For different digital modes to communicate with each other. Without that path, they wouldn't be able to talk to each other. It's like speaking two different languages. Let's see, the other thing we have is a node. Most of you are familiar with what a node is. It's like Echolink. You have a node on Echolink, that's your own private IP address. Then you have the software from Echolink, that does all the different communications methods that you're using. 2 or 3 people connect to your node. It's kind of like a reflector, but it's a little bit different. Okay, break. And one more thing we're going to use is a hub. A hub is essentially what it says. It's a meeting point. Like I use a hub here. I use two hubs here. And what my hubs are is they're Ethernet ports or Ethernet ports. One of them is an 8-port hub. The other one is a 4-port hub, which gives me a total of 12 different Cat5 connections that provide routing for the network. Okay, that's a hub. All right, so what the American Multimode consists of is we have 3 DMR networks that are bridged together. The main DMR network is TGIF. The talk group for us on TGIF is 23456. The secondary network is called MNet, Mike November Echo Tango. The talk group for that is also 23456, and that is bridged together with a Pi 3. Now remember I explained to you the Pi 3 is the little computer that connects both TGIF and MNet through what we call a bridge. Then there is Freestart System X, which is also a DMR network. The talk group for that is 31234. Now all 3 of those systems are bridged together. So in other words, they all communicate with each other, right? W1NOC returning. All right, the next system is D-Star. I'm sure everybody's heard of D-Star before. The connection for that is XLX reflector 782 Bravo. Now, how that works is that has its own separate Pi star, which is a Pi 3, and D-Star speaks a totally different language than any other digital modes. So also connected to that Pi star is what we call a Northwest Digital vocoder. It looks like a little thumb DV that you would plug into a USB port. And what that does is that breaks down the D-Star digitalization, the codecs or the vocode for that. It breaks it down and it sends it to all the other different reflectors or bridges that are on the network. So it's kind of like a traffic cop. It stops everybody there, translates everything, and then sends it back out to the network. So that's D-Star. Then we have Project 25, which is also known as P25. The reflector number for that is 23456. That's also bridged into the complete system. We have YSF, Yaesu System Fusion reflector. That's bridged into everything else. The number for that is 80751. Then we have Echolink, of course. Everybody knows about Echolink. That's how Anthony connects the 9H-HAM GlobalNet over to America Multimode through an Echolink link. And then we have an All-Star repeater node. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of All-Star, and the node number of that is 55877. One last break and I'll be done. And W1NOC returning. So, what runs all of this is there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the different little Pi star, which are mini computers. They all talk to each other. When one transmits, the other one listens, and vice versa. If it's going through the D-Star bridge, the D-Star vocoder will break it down for all of the other Pi stars to understand what's going on. We also use DV switch and Almon 2. DV switch is just a way to monitor things and also join some of the different softwares and radio modes together. Allmon 2 is like my dashboard where I can see who's connected by what mode, by what type of radio and whatnot. And if somebody's cutting up on there or causing a disturbance, I can also disconnect them from there. So anyways, that's what we got going on over here. Thanks everybody for listening, and I will turn it back over to Net Control N78PW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is W1NOC.
Good, Dave. W1NOC with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey. I'm sure there may be some comments or questions coming up, but before we do that, so basically what you have, all that equipment that you have is configured to grab different digital network modes, whether it's TGIF network or whether it's other networks, YSF, etc., and connect them all together or interconnect them so that anybody that connects to any of your nodes within the different modes can also speak across the whole setup that you have. So, for example, we are now connected using Echolink to your node and to your network. So our net now is carried on all the individual modes and all the individual nodes that are connected via your setup. Is that correct, Dave? Go ahead.
Yes, sir, you're absolutely correct. You're linked to me through Echolink, through Anthony's Echolink system. So, what my system does is it picks that up, all those different pieces. They all pick it up. There is one centralized hub that picks everything up, and then what that hub does is it directs the traffic to the other reflectors or nodes or bridges. It deciphers it. In other words, if one is speaking DMR and the other was speaking P25, well, they decode each other, and then they send it back out over all the different modes that I have here. And I have every mode in the book except for NXDN, and I'm not putting that in there because nobody hardly uses it. It's kind of like P25. The reason why I set up a network like this is, for example, some of our fellow hams over in Malta that may only work DMR, they may only work analog, they may only work Echolink, they don't have the other equipment to get in. Well, with a network like mine, you can get in with anything you got, just about. So that's, and you're correct, Jerry, that's how it works. Go ahead, Jerry.
The 0 will be all right.
I got you checked in, Ian, and I see Charlie as well, WB4PVT, and we'll get around to that in a minute. And you may have a question, so I'll pass it over to you in a moment. So give everybody the on Echolink, of course, in our case right now. Give everybody the node on Echolink where people can connect to it and then gain access to all the different digital modes and nodes that your system caters for in real time. Dave, go ahead.
Okay, Jerry, W1NOC. All right. My Echolink node number, well, it's not a node, it's a repeater. The Echolink node number is 744782. I'll repeat it again. 744782. And the node name is W1NOC-R. That's Whiskey 1, November, Oscar, Charlie, -R, repeater.
Okay, very good, Dave. Thank you very much. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Charlie, I have you checked in. Ian, I have you checked in. I'll give a short pause for any other check-ins, and then I'll pass it over to Ian. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey standing by. Mr. Ian, I'll pass it to Charlie, and then we'll take any questions or comments. Golf Zero, Bravo India Alpha. Good evening to you, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, and with everybody else who's on the net. Very good evening. Apologies for being late. I've been rather preoccupied this last fortnight. My ex-YL had a stroke a week last Tuesday, which we thought was very bad, and on the Wednesday she'd recovered to 99.99%, which is absolutely a miracle. So, but she's home now after a week in hospital, double checking her, and she just nipped upstairs. I forgot to come on early. We were talking about something else, and she comes first, as I've kept on telling her. And so I thought, well, you might be there, so I'll just pop in and say hello, just a one-off. But I'm pleased to say that anybody listening who knows my ex-YL, who's also with me in Malta when I served there, and has been there many times since 2009 on to 17. I don't think we'll ever get back there now, but that's another story. So I hope everybody's well. I've made a note of the node the gentleman mentioned there, and I shall have a look at that when I have a bit more time. But thanks for calling me in, Jerry. I'll wish you 7 trees and a Layla Diab to anybody who's listening who understands what I'm trying to say. Hey, Jack. And I'll just stand by for any comment and then disappear. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey with the rest of the HAM GlobalNet for Malta, G0BIA 73s.
Well, thank you for coming in, Ian. I know these are trying times, but I'm very happy to hear that her recovery is just about complete, and that's all that matters. That's really the bottom line there. Very good. Excellent news. Charlie, good afternoon. I hope it's not too terribly hot where you are. Whiskey Bravo 4, Papa Victor Tango with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
This is W4PVT. Sorry to hear, Ian, about your wife. And I tell you, a stroke is the thing that scares me. I'd be willing to have a number of heart attacks rather than a stroke. And I've got AFib, which is notorious for creating strokes. So that's something I'm going to go to the doctor. I went to the doctor last week for that, and they're setting up an appointment for the shock treatment. I don't know if I told you about it. They did it once before. They put a pad on your back and one on your chest, and they sedate you, and then they give you a big electrical shock, and you kind of jump. They said your arms go flying up in the air, and it's supposed to get your heart back in rhythm. So it looks like they're going to have to do that again. And also, a couple of weeks ago, my knee went out, so I'm limping around. I'm getting around some, but I got a doctor's appointment for the knee. I tell you, when you get old, that's the only thing you talk about is doctor's appointments. Other than that, everything's going pretty good. Sorry about being late. A friend of mine had trouble with his cell phone. He destroyed it. He kept putting it in his pocket, and he has a lot of dirt and trash in his pocket, and he's managed to jam it up into where you charge it. And now the charging cable won't work, so he's going to have to go out and buy a new cell phone. Hopefully he won't do that again. And as luck would have it, about a month ago, he was at a concert, and he got a call from one of his neighbors. You might want to come home, your house is on fire. So they're working on his house, and he's staying in an apartment now. So he's had a lot of bad luck. Hopefully he'll get back to his house by Christmas. But that's about everything going on here. It's hot, but I'm staying inside where it's air conditioned. This is WB4 PBT.
And this is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey Net Control Station for this evening session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Thank you, Charlie. I hope everything gets better and better as we go. I'm old enough to be able to say it beats the alternative. So we're still here, and we're still somewhat smiling, and a little ache here and there, and life goes on. What can we say? Very good. Let's see. Are there any questions or comments about Dave's presentation? And a note, Chris, I don't know whether you're still here in 9H1 Tango Lima, but I have a solution for the issue we were working with on DroidStar. There we go. I've actually found the right stuff to work. So if you're still here, we can catch that probably after the end of the net. Let's see. Any comments or questions at this point in time? This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
And 7 APW, 9H5FA with a short question for Dave.
Anthony, the floor is yours. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Thank you, not control. Dave, I mean, this is your presentation was fabulous. I mean, you've basically managed to do what the individual digital communication companies did not manage to do, because they all built on their own ecosystem, like System Fusion have their own ecosystem, DMR have their own ecosystem, D-Star have their own ecosystem, and you managed to bring everyone together. It's fantastic. My only question is, do you experience any significant delays when talking from one network to the other? So when you, in a case where there's a net and there are maybe people on different networks at the same time, do you, from your experience, you have to leave longer delays between one person talking and the next? Or is the sort of translation and of signals which goes on, practically instantaneous? Back to net control. This is 9 Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Well, thank you, Jerry, and thank you, Anthony, for the compliments. Yeah, it was quite a project getting all this to work right. To answer your question about delays, The only two reflectors or networks or bridges, because they're 3 in 1, is D-Star has about a 3-second delay. So in other words, when you key up, it takes 3 seconds for it to vocode or decode to the other bridges. And that's because that D-Star actually has to go through 2 Pi stars. It comes in on the hub, which houses all the software like Debian and Echolink and Allstar and this and that, Apache. So it comes in through the hub, then the hub sends it over to the D-Star vocoder. So that creates about a 3-second delay. So anybody that's on D-Star that works this network, they know that when you key up your microphone to count to 2, 1 1000, 2 1000, after you key up your mic before you talk. And when you let go of your microphone, also when you're done talking, count to 2. And that lets everything pass through there. Now, P25, although it doesn't use a vocoder, it still has to go through the hub and then to a reflector. So that has a 1 to 2 second delay. But most of the time, you don't have to, count 1 1000, 2 1000. But after a while, when you use the network, you get used to it. So that's one of the reasons we generally, like when Jerry was taking check-ins, he asked that you give a 5-second pause in between each individual check-in. That's to give the network a chance to catch up. That way nobody gets chopped off or dropped out. Okay, Jerry, back to you. N78PW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. This is Whiskey 1, November Oscar Charlie.
Before I let you go, Dave, give us the URL or the network address for your website, because on your website are listed all the individual modes and all the individual node IDs, which I couldn't keep up by writing those. So, what I'm thinking here is, if I'm talking to somebody and they say, well, I'm on Freestar or I'm on YSF, etc. They can go there and give them the information, and then if somebody doesn't have DMR, and most people don't, they can connect to your Echolink node, W1NOC-R, and carry on a contact using your multimode network with someone who's on a radio who knows where, and accessing the QSO via any mode that your network supports. That was hard to say. W1NOC with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
Okay, Jerry, I sure appreciate all this advertisement. And if you think you have a hard time keeping up with this stuff, yeah, you ought to be sitting in my chair, especially when something breaks. Okay, the America Multimode website is very easy. The website URL is, of course, www.https:// but anyways, you don't have to remember that. It's America-multimode.us. I'll say it again. America-multimode.us. And anybody that has trouble finding that, If you go to my QRZ page, I have provided a link right to the website. You can just click on that link, and you don't have to type anything in. It will take you right there. Back to net control, W1NOC.
And as an FYI, what we call a dash is known also as a hyphen. So it's America-multimode.us. Thank you very much, Dave. Any other questions or comments for Dave? And thank you for your presentation. November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey.
And 7 APW, this is 9H5FA with a short comment.
Absolutely.
Thanks, 7 APW. Okay, no, just a short comment. I have included Dave's URL, the URL he just mentioned, in the calendar invites which I send out every 2 weeks. So in the actual text, if you open the calendar invites, where there are the list of ways in which you could communicate, I also included the URL America-multimode.us. And people can just click on it and go to the website and sort of see all the information. I'm not sure if Dave is actually on my calendar invite mailing list. He might not be. I'm not sure. I can check and I'll let him in. Back to you, net control. This is Line Hotel 5 Foxtrot Alpha.
Here, I'll save you some time. Dave, did you get an invite, a calendar invite from Anthony for this week's net? Go ahead.
Jerry, repeat that for me, please. It came in a little bit muffled. I don't know whether it was the internet or what. Repeat that for me, please.
Anthony is wondering whether you received an invite, a calendar invite for this net that we are on right now, or whether you did not receive one. Go ahead.
Okay, yes, sir, Anthony, I did receive it, and thank you for that. I missed the last net because I got the days mixed up. And I also put your stuff on my net meeting page, and thank you for putting my stuff up on your page. I appreciate that. Back to net control, N78PW with the 9H-HAM GlobalNet, W1NOC.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that, Dave. Anthony, anything else?
Jerry, yeah, I'm just checking my list at the moment, and I can see, yes, I have Dave included as KC1NOC3168556 @gmail.com. Okay, so he is in the list. Yeah. I also included the Multimode URL on the posts which I'm posted on Facebook pages, on our local club Facebook pages. So I included the link over there as well. I have to admit, it's a unique URL. I don't think a similar, really intricate and comprehensive network exists for anywhere else. I'm not sure, but it's fantastic. And 7APW 9H5FA.
We'd enjoy the discussion. Dave, do you want to change that address with Anthony or leave it the way it is? Go ahead.
You can leave it the way it is. It'll save him the hassle of doing it. I get email to that KC1NOC 316-8556, so that's fine. Also, Anthony, I have not put a link in yet to your YouTube and all that on your page, on the Net Meetings page of my website, but I will get to that today and get your link up there. That way people can click and get right over there. Okay, Jerry, back to you. N78PW, W1NOC.
Very good. This is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey, net control station for this evening's session of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. Are there any other check-ins or any other traffic for the net? Okay, hearing nothing, let me go back to the preamble and see where we're at. And here we are, we're at the end of the net. So, with no additional traffic or comments for the net, this is November 7, Alpha Papa Whiskey net control operator or station for this evening's edition of the 9H-HAM GlobalNet. There were a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 check-ins this evening, and that is just wonderful. This public service net meets every 2 weeks on Thursday night at 8 p.m. local Malta time, or Central European time. I'd like to thank Dave for his wonderful discussion about his totally interconnected network with the world. And I'd also like to thank the repeater trustees for the use of their repeater, and to everyone who has checked into tonight's net. Because as my brother says, the net is nothing without you. Let's see, what else is there left to do? All I have to do is now return the use of this repeater and all linked repeaters back to normal amateur radio use. This is November 7 Alpha Papa Whiskey. My name is Jerry, 73s, and good evening.